Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gatherer of Great Things, and it's the 5th day of Christmas, and I am working on the collage for that day. And the page I have is kind of small, the way it fell in the journal. So I have this little tiny page that I'm going to be working with. I want to show you the ones I finally ended up with. I cut the figure out of the page for the 5th day of Christmas, and on the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. So I knew I wanted to use this main character because she's so well drawn and such a pretty face, and but I didn't know exactly how I was going to use the figure. I had imagined that she was being held gently by a hand, and so I went through my hand and arms bag that I keep everything in, that I've cut out and saved, and I didn't put it back in, but I should have. Let's see if I can find everything. Oh dear, I don't know where I put it. Anyway, this is the folder that I keep all my clips in, and for hands and arms, and I have a lot more around here somewhere. But the arm that I found was this one, and I fussy cut it out, and I thought, okay, she would be kind of able to hold her partially in her hand and on her arm, and she just fits so perfectly. I thought that was really great. And I had pulled these the other day when I was doing the 4 calling birds, and the colors really match her dress and everything. So I thought, well, I think I'm going to use that down here on the bottom as the base of the collage. And then I saw, remember these earrings that I had pulled? Well, I cut the jewels off at the end, and I thought, well, you know what, they kind of remind me of fish, and I do make fish out of jewels. So I cut them out, and I thought, well, they look great, but I need some fish tails. So I went to my computer, and I have files on my computer that I keep of copyright-free images, and I found these 2 fish, and I made them a couple of different sizes and flipped them so they're going in both different directions. And I thought, well, maybe I'll use the tail on the end of the jewel, and then I'll use the head on the front of the jewel. But I didn't like the way the head looked, and I didn't like the way the whole thing was working. So I discarded those, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to use these fish. I mean, the colors are perfect for the layout. So I fussy cut out 3 fish, and hopefully I can find them again, because I'd hate to fussy cut out another set of fish. There they are. Okay, so I have these three fish, And I really liked the way this was looking. And here. And here. And I could feel it getting closer to really working. And, you know, I'm putting her in a different environment than the reality of what her environment would have been. You know, now she's she could be in a room and these fish could be flying through the air, which is one way to look at it. Or she could be under the sea and resting at the bottom of the sea on an arm. And these fish are coming up closely to investigate. And they probably want to nibble at these 5 golden rings here on her string. So I'm looking at this, and I liked the colors in the background, but it was just too busy, and you know, it wasn't exactly the look that I was going for. So I thought, well, okay, let's try this, and I went into my my file of sea life. And I found this picture from, I'm sure it's from a National Geographic. So I slid that behind her. And there she was, like a little mermaid under the sea. And I really, really like that. I mean, the colors work. It's not too busy. She stands out from the background. And I thought, well, let me see what happens when I put the fish on here. And I really liked it. I really felt like this is really working here. This is a pretty good design. And I could, if I wanted to, have this one kind of nibbling at the end of the string. So that's what I came up with. And, you know, I have a little bit of the background still showing back here. It's kind of glary. But I liked the way the colors were working. And then I thought, well, I have this stamp of, I remembered I had it. So I went through my stamp book and I have this stamp of 2 golden rings, which is okay. I mean, I could use that, but I couldn't figure out how I wanted to use it yet. It wasn't really blatant about, you know, how it was going to fit in here. And I also took out this stamp of a king and a queen, and I thought, you know, they work really well with the colors in here. And they have the word love on them. So, and actually they're both 44-cent stamps, I think. Didn't I see that somewhere? Maybe not. Anywhere, I thought, well, I'm going to use some part of this. Not sure what, but I'm going to use some part of that. So here we are with the basic layout of my collage. Now, I don't have the number 5 in here anywhere, and I don't have the date, So 5, 25, 26, 27, 28. It would be the 29th of December. So let me check my checks here and see if I have a 29 of December that I can use. No. Yes, I do. Okay. Here's a 29 December. So I do have that. And this is from 1950. So I'm just going to cut straight across this line. And figure out how to use this in the collage. Huh. That fish could fall right, its fin could fall right there in that space. Okay, I kind of like that. Now, let's take a look at this. Stamp. The crown, I kind of really like there. Well, let's work on that later. Let's get the background down and see how this works out. So double check I'm in frame. Okay. I really like that. I think it's going to be really effective. And very, very weird and very, very wonky. So that much I really, really like. So let's start gluing this down. Now I'm going to glue this little border down first. And I'm going to use my okay, I want to use my glitter glue because this is a heavier cardstock. First, I need to trim this little edge. And trim off this end. I hope everybody's having a great 5th day of Christmas. I managed to finally get all of my cookie and candy packages in the mail today. So that was a relief. And hopefully they'll get there by King's Day and, you know, they won't they'll still be within my 12 days Christmas celebration. So I'm sent everything priority, and I'm really glad they have the flat rate boxes to ship, especially things to California. So cookies and candies can be quite heavy. All right, so next I'm going to trim this. And you know, since I'm going to have that strip from the check at the top, I hope I can bring this down to meet this border down here. Perfect, I can. Okay. All right. So, let me trim this to size. I know in my neighborhood, we took a ride around today when we came home from the post office, and a lot of people already have their Christmas decorations down. And that kind of makes me sad that, you know, they're not enjoying them. They're so pretty. The neighborhood was so pretty this year. Lots of people put decorations up, and the lights, and we don't have street lights in our community, so it is dark except for the full moon last night. But we rode around last night and it was beautiful. But today I really saw how many people had already taken down their Christmas decorations, and I'm not one of them. Like I said, I'm going to keep mine up until All King's Day, and then I will take them down. And I'm going to make sure all the air bubbles are out of this, as many as I can get out of this background. I just love these colors, and I'm wondering if I wasn't influenced by the colors, you know, in this advertisement in the background. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, with this, let's see, do I want a border all the way across, or do I think it really matters? I think I do. So I'm gonna just snip this. I think I'm gonna have to snip it a little bit more. Okay. I have this little piece. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we have the arm. And we have our lady, milady. I want it over here, or do I want it over here? Or do I want it tilt? Be kind of tilted, same angle as her head. And then this one, oh, I can't do that now because that's okay. I'll just move it down here. I kind of like that fish not, you know, going straight across. And with this one, I'm trying to take care of this really sharp point here. I don't want a lot of space around the fish. Okay. So I have these figures interacting with one another, most definitely. And let's see if we want to use the king and queen anywhere. I don't think so. Do I want to use this? I don't think so. And how about any of the lettering? Let's see. have a really hard time cutting a straight line without a line to follow. I think maybe, I don't know, but I have an astigmatism, so maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe one here. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to finish gluing all this down, and I'm going to put on some music while I'm doing that, and then I'll be right back. think we're through. What do you think? It's a lot of fun. And I love when I'm able to put a character in a different environment and have it create another reality. Plus, you know, she's kind of being held up by this hand, which is very unusual. You really don't know what's going on with her body, if it's kind of behind her arm or exactly what's going on. But I think that's okay. You know, the colors in here all work so well together, and they also work with the previous page. And I'm carrying through these different elements in each collage, which makes them definitely a series that is easy to see. One thing I didn't tell you about, but it was on the very end of yesterday's video, is I cut the numbers 1210 off of the check because I felt like this needed a telephone number. Back in the olden days, when we had this kind of a dial phone, a rotary phone is what it was called, your phone number was on a piece of paper behind this piece of plastic right here. And so when I saw those numbers, and they're very similar to the font on the telephone, I thought, oh, that would work. You know, I could put those on here and it'll look like an exchange or something like that. And then I realized 1 and 2 is 3 and 1 is 4. So I have my 4 birds, my 4 calling birds. So, which just really gives me a little bit of a chuckle. But, and this one, you know, the 5 gold rings are very subtle in here. But they are there. And we still have a main character that's receiving these gifts. And even though it looks like she's down below the sea, maybe she's daydreaming while she's looking at these rings. Probably kind of like I'm daydreaming about the next cruise we may be able to go on at some point in time, which is a lot of fun. Anyway, I think I'm going to call this one finished, and I hope you enjoyed watching the process of putting this together. It's definitely weird and wonky. It's definitely surreal. I used vintage papers in this, as well as scrapbook paper, part of a magazine, and part of a vintage check. So I hope to see you again soon with day number 6 of the 12 days of Christmas. Hope you're having a great evening or afternoon or morning, and I will see you again soon. Many blessings to you. Bye for now.